Yeah, so maybe.
There's Jim, right on the job.
Yes, and it's weird. Yep.
It's gonna go over.
DDA, Michigan DDA.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it under J1.
Kim, do I need to sign?
I didn't get to it yesterday. It's actually officially. There
you go.
Called a stipend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Micah.
Kim usually has an extra one.
My regular seat.
Seems like a big face. I don't.
Good morning, Kate.
Good morning. How are you, Linda?
Mine is a stiff neck. I'm great.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Just slept well. Yeah, you want my Kleenex?
Oh, it's right here. Sorry.
There you go. Oh. 2 days dealing with the hospital.
This is the final.
All right.
All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order. Roll call, Kim?
I got it.
All right, so the next item is the approval of the agenda. We actually do have one change to the agenda we'd like to add. So we're seeking a motion. It's regarding, would go under J1, which is to increase the health insurance statement for Jim's position based upon the decision the executive committee made in December. So is there a motion out there to approve that?
Second.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, now is the time for public comments. Is there anyone that would like to make a public comment? All right, hearing none, moving on to our consent agenda, which includes the minutes from November 19th. If you remember, we did not meet in December. And then also the treasurer's report is attached for your review. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
It's been moved by Tim,
Second.
supported by Mindy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to the executive committee, office updates.
That's just the updates to the office.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, if you've read the report from Jim, there's a lot of things going on in his office. He's got new furniture, thanks to Buddy Byer. And he's got new paint and, just new arrangements in the office in general. It looks really nice. It's not totally done yet, but it's really close. In the next, few weeks, it'll be totally done. And so really happy that we were able to all do that together and get that done over the holidays. So that's really the only update at this point in time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on to our committee reports. Outreach committee, I don't think there's an update on that committee at this point. Hopefully we can talk more about that committee this weekend at our retreat in Farmington. So moving on to business development, I don't know if they met.
Yeah, we met, and we talked about a couple different things that's in the board packet, but one of the things we talked about is notifying the building owners that are adjacent to the parking lot that's being redone, so that if they wanted a tap, if they ever thought they wanted a tap in the future, now was the time to do it when the parking lot is torn up. We still keep kind of trying to figure out what we're gonna do logistically with that parking lot torn up. And we had a discussion in regards to fire suppression which we've had many discussions on, and maybe we've got a couple of new avenues to pursue on that. And downtown dollars, we sold under $1,000 worth of downtown dollars, and they're being used. We've gotten some back, so far so good with that program.
So what are the two avenues that you discussed about, or that you have on the fire suppression?
Jim would be better to answer that.
So, yeah, it's a evolving conversation that really looks at how we can save property owners money just for fire safety in general, but also looking at fire suppression. The idea with when that parking lot is torn up, that's an ideal time to add the taps to the water line behind the buildings there. Because like in theory, if you had to tear up the sidewalk, put in a tap, and then repair that sidewalk, total, making up a number, you could be looking at $10,000, right? If that parking or that sidewalk's already torn up, you're gonna save the demo cost, you're gonna save the repair cost, because that's already getting done as part of that project for the parking lot. So instead of $10,000, it could be $5,000 or whatever it is. So there could be a little bit of savings to do the project at that time. So working with, right now I'm going around to property owners that are impacted by the parking lot. They have to sign easement agreements. So that's gonna become part of the conversation as I'm talking with them, like, hey, now is the time to think about this, get an idea of cost. If you wanna move forward, now is the time to do it. We've also talked about the idea of, depending on where those costs come in, is that something the DDA wants to look at offsetting in some way? We've also started exploring the idea of incorporating that maybe into like a building improvement loan program that we already have through Main Street Inc. Even, pipe dream maybe, but could that become a grant program to offset the cost of fire suppression? So we're really kind of looking at every avenue that we potentially have to support that cost, to make it a reality down here, because it's a big issue for not just our downtown, but downtowns across the state.
Okay, thank you. All right, placemaking. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. We are still working on the vibrancy grant and getting all those components done by the end of the grant term. Bike racks, cigarette voting boxes. You're working heavily on the history walks and the plaques through See My Legacy. Looks like there's some new information about hometown heroes, and that is in your packet. We're adding a QR code so that you can learn more about each person. Does that about cover it? Placemaking?
Yeah, the history walk will live on See My Legacy as far as the digital aspect of it, which is the program we're using online for like our history walk. We do an art walk on there. Our fund development would run through there. And also the stories for the hometown heroes, which I think is really cool. And I think this year is a good year to roll it out because it will play into the America 250. But the idea is on new banners, we have the ability to add a QR code to them. So when that is scanned, it'll take you to more information about the honoree. It could be written, it could be audio, it could be video. So it's really cool. And then because it's a See My Legacy platform, it stays on there for at least 10 years. So we have the ability to build onto it also.
Okay, events committee.
We pretty much discussed like the dates and stuff of this year's events, kind of went forward with that. And then one coming up in, not this Saturday, next Saturday is the first time we've ever done the chocolate walk. We're getting pretty much everybody involved in town. It's kind of exciting, but it's easy because everybody's gonna do their own thing. I mean, a restaurant's gonna have chocolate dessert, a drink. The place is gonna have chocolate candy, even the businesses are gonna be open, some with a little candy dish, for someone to come in and find out what they do in that building. Just kind of getting people to walk around town again. This time of year, we need to get people out and about, because they're getting bored.
And I would add that it will also be an open house for the DDA office.
Yes, sorry.
Maps and the list of participating businesses will be available at the office, so that way it's a way for people to come in, check out the new space, and really kind of make it, or introduce it as a community space as opposed to just an office space.
Just a question, so I noticed that we obviously have our special events listed in memo that you sent, these say proposed, do we need a motion at this meeting to approve those by this board?
Typically, we run through those at the board retreat.
Oh, right, and then we do it the next
move on
month.
to the
Okay.
board meeting.
Yep, all right. All right, we're moving on to other reports. There's no subcommittee business. Center for the Arts, Jill.
Currently, the main gallery is empty. We've had so much painting, sanding, and drywall dust, it was better to have an empty gallery than to have to cover the artwork for protection. Next week, everything should be done, and the Michigan Art Educators Show will open. That will then be followed by the annual Lapeer Community Schools K through 12 art show. In the first 2 weeks of December and the last 2 weeks in January, we had 93 participants in art classes. In the pics, the Christmas show, Assisted Living the Musical, The Home for the Holidays, had to be canceled due to one of the performers being sick and unable to fly from New York. So we had to refund 293 patrons. Despite that, we've had excellent ticket sales for December and January with a total of 1,623 patrons to date. This does not include the sold-out house for Saturday's Old Days concert, which is a Chicago tribute, which there are no tickets left. The Center for the Arts closed to the public on December 16th so that the repair work from the water damage and the new sound system could be installed in the pics. This does not mean that the staff had a month off. The opposite is true. Amanda and I were there as much as 12-hour days for the revolving door of contractors. The work that was promised to be done within a month so we could reopen on January 15th is still not complete, although we're getting there. The new sound system is complete enough that we could handle, we've had 2 rentals, a comedy show, and then we had two showings of Exotic Zoo. The rest of the system is scheduled to be installed starting at about 9 o'clock this morning and be up and running by Friday. And Zach is working on getting the gallery women's restroom painted, and then that project will also be complete. During all the construction, Michigan Arts and Culture Council announced their annual round of grant opportunities. They announced on December 19th with a due date of January 22nd. This is highly, highly unusual, but because the state of Michigan didn't approve a budget when it was supposed to, and that was delayed, that pushed back their ability to even announce the grants. So that was a big curveball, and a lot of hoop jumping was involved. But I did get 3 grants submitted, including operational support, equipment for a complete pottery studio, so I've requested 3 more pottery wheels and a kiln. And then professional development for me to attend the MAX conference in September. I've been participating with the City of Commission America 250 group, and it looks like some of the plans we have there are going to coincide with the plans that we're making for the Center for the Arts. Center for the Arts is partnering with the Courthouse Committee and the Historical Society for 250 celebration on the courthouse lawn, on the courthouse steps, slated for June 20th. And I just need a lot more money to make it happen. We are also participating with the Art Spark group, which Jim outlined in his written report, with an art event scheduled for the fall of 2017, or 2027, sorry, I just lost 10 years. 2027.
All right, thanks, Jill. Okay, moving on to our staff report.
First and foremost, congratulations to all of you. Lapeer Main Street is now a nationally accredited Main Street. Through the work that we've done this past year, building our work plans, increasing capacity, increasing our engagement, not just within our own board, but also with the city, and just accomplishing some great things last year. We were able to achieve national accreditation, which is awesome. So thank you everybody for your hard work this past year. As it pertains to Michigan Main Street, they did send us their list of training dates for the year. That is included in your packet, so you have that. I can email that out also afterwards. Also included in your packet is the proposal from AccuNet to host the DDA website. I think it's a pretty thorough proposal with some civic clarity. Setup for that would have a cost of about $1,600, take 10 to 12 weeks. But after that initial setup, you're looking at $561 a year. To have a professionally done site, have it hosted, they do the graphic design, they work with the DDA staff to do the updates. It includes email notifications, social media integration. It ensures that the site would be ADA compliant. It makes sure that the site is meeting all the requirements set by the state as far as reporting requirements go. At a price of, like I said, $561 a year would be the standard rate after the first year, which would be the $1,600.
That's really good. Great value.
So it takes a lot of the work off of in-house work, and previously our site, when we had that hosted professionally, we were paying $360 a month. So I think this is a good option for us at a big savings. They also work with a variety of cities across Michigan, so they are familiar with DDAs and what is needed.
So it is a great price, I agree, but does that $561 a year include like them coming and doing updates?
Yes.
So
It'll be, and so the updates are a shared responsibility. Simple updates, like updating minutes or anything like that, I can do from the office. Anything that is more in-depth, I just send it over to them or make the request, and then they take that for us. So my recommendation would be that everybody read through the proposal, and then we look at including that in our budget for next year as we're doing our budget process at the next couple meetings.
So you don't want this on the agenda for next month to review, to come back and,
I would say we probably have it on the
Yeah.
agenda for next month for approval, but I just want a chance for people to read through
Sure.
the proposal.
okay.
Also, last month I mentioned revisiting Placer AI. That is the visitor data program. I did have an initial conversation with them. Cost point for that, we'd be still looking between the $10,000 to $12,000 range for that. It's based off of population. I have had initial conversations with Sam Moore at the Lapeer Development Corporation. They would be willing to offset some of that cost. They did that for Emily City last year, so they would be willing to do it for us as well. I would like to put together a proposal, if the DDA wants to move forward, I would like to put together a proposal to present to the city as well, to see if they would like to participate in that. Because it really would benefit, I believe, all of us. It would give us numbers for events, it would give us numbers for days of the week, time of the day. It could also be used for business retention, business recruitment, not just at the downtown level, but it could be used citywide. Because again, the license is based off of the population of the city, not the downtown, so it'd be beneficial for all parties. So if you guys want me to continue moving forward with that, I can, and then get an exact price to present to the DDA as well as the city for that.
Is there consensus for Jim to move forward and determine those costs?
Yes.
Okay, it sounds like you have consensus.
Okay, and then just a few more things. We mentioned the hometown hero banners. That being said, the application window for that is Monday, February 2nd. First come, first served. Last year, we were sold out, all 130 spaces, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Jill will be here to volunteer to help with hometown hero banners like intake. I have one other volunteer. I would love to have at least one more volunteer on Monday to help do intake for that, because it is a revolving door of people coming in, filling out, paying, getting things set up, and also the phone ringing and people doing it over the phone as well. Like I said, last year we did 130 by 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
What time does that start, Jim?
We open the doors at 9 a.m.
Because I can help in the morning before
Okay.
I open.
Okay. Yeah, like, at least one more helper would be great. Don't need a lot because it gets crowded in the office.
Right.
But at least, yeah, one would be fantastic. So I would appreciate that because morning is the busiest time.
Is there ever a thought, Jim, if you have so much demand that,
I missed the first part. I'm sorry, John.
is there ever been any thought, if there's been so much demand for these banners, that maybe, you know, like there's a second rotation? Like half a year replace them or some, or is that?
We've talked about it. It would be a lot of work.
Yeah,
So it might be something worth exploring down the road, but it is a lot of time and effort, and then just a storage capacity and manpower capacity. But it's something that we could explore. We would add at least a few more streetlights as part of the parking lot project next year and the Park Street project. So we'll be able to expand it a little bit. Probably still sell out the first day because it's not going to expand it by a lot, but it will at least give us a few more options for it. Also, speaking of volunteers, February 7th during the Chocolate Walk, we mentioned the DDA office will have our open house that day. So if anybody would like to be there noon to 5, it's really just an opportunity to welcome people, talk about the DDA, talk about what we do, and just have an engaging conversation. No real responsibility outside of that, just to be there and say hi to everybody that comes in.
I can help with that.
So last couple things, our Main Street retreat is this Saturday, the 31st in downtown Farmington. We will be at Farmington Co-work. Jessica, who is the director of Main Street Farmington, will be there at the end to kind of talk about some of the things they do. They are a Great American Main Street Award nominee, which is a nationally recognized award that is presented to one community every year in the entire country. So they are one of 6 communities in the running for that this year. They have a great public art program, so I thought that'd be a good place for us to have the retreat this year. I will resend out the strategic plan information directions for that again, so you'll have that ahead of time. There is parking on site, and then we typically do lunch afterward, which is just casual.
Have you gotten feedback from everybody as to who's gonna be there on Saturday?
A fair amount. Sounds like we should have pretty good representation, but if you haven't confirmed, please
Can we
do
get a
so.
show of hands of who's gonna be there on Saturday? Okay, all right, that's pretty, and I didn't raise my hand, but I'll be there.
Okay.
So,
I don't
pardon
know
me?
yet.
Okay,
I'll let you know.
okay, thank you.
So that'll be fun. Lee Young will engage us with that, lead the conversation, but the focus will be reviewing that strategic plan and prioritizing it and coming up with action plans for that. And then also talking about fund development for the organization as well. And then finally, if you have not heard, Jill Bristow is no longer with us at the DDA. She is now a full-time stay-at-home mom, which is awesome for her. Love that she's able to do that. But she's been with our DDA for 5 years. So we do have a card that I think is going around. So if you haven't signed that, please do, and we will make sure that she gets that as a thank you. Her last day was our last office day of December. So that is all I have today.
Okay. All right, moving on to new business, we have, as it is the beginning of the year, election of officers. So I would guess we could start off, are there any nominations for chair?
I'll nominate Catherine Bostic.
I will not accept that. I declined the nomination. I think I appreciate that, but I think it's somebody else's turn to be able to chair this board, and so I decline the nomination, but thank you so much for your support. Are there any other nominations for chair?
I nominate Mindy.
Mindy, okay. Are there any other nominations for chair? All right, I will close nominations for chair. Is there a motion to cast a unanimous ballot for Mindy?
So moved.
second.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. We're moving on to vice chair. Are there any nominations for vice chair?
I'll continue.
Okay, so there is a nomination for Tim Rudovitz to be vice chair. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? All right, hearing no more nominations, I will close nominations. There's a motion to elect Tim Rudovitz as vice chair.
I motion.
Second.
All right, is there any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, we're to the treasurer. Are there any nominations for treasurer?
Megan?
I nominate her.
Megan.
Okay, I think I heard two different nominations for the same person, so there's a nomination for Megan Gillingham. Are there any other nominations for treasurer? All right, hearing none, I will close nominations. Is there a motion to elect Megan Gillingham as treasurer?
I motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. And finally, secretary. Are there any nominations for secretary?
I nominate Tammy.
I'm sorry?
I nominate Tammy.
Oh, I couldn't hear you, sorry.
No,
All right,
okay, cool.
so there's a nomination for Tammy to be the secretary. Are there any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none, I will close nominations. Is there a motion to elect Tammy as secretary to the board?
I'll motion.
Is there support?
Second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Here's some aspirin.
All right, so we're gonna move on. I guess it's the board's preference, the board's preference. I can step down now and everybody can move up here and start, or we can just finish this meeting out and everybody can start next month. What is the preference? Okay, I'll just continue on then. So we're gonna move on to the DDA assistant. Obviously with Jill leaving us, we need to discuss hiring a DDA assistant. And I say DDA assistant because there's a reason why that title kind of is different than what Jill had. And so Jim, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I would. So what I'd like to propose is really kind of rethinking the position a little bit from what we had. I would like to see this become almost like an assistant director type position where Lapeer is building DDA directors. I want to look for people who are passionate about downtowns, that want to look at people who are interested in making this a career and something they want to do. And so what I would like to see is, one, I would like to see the pay for the position bumped up to $20 an hour. Right now it is $15 an hour, but I think to get a serious candidate, I think it needs to be at least a $20 an hour pay range. I would also like to see the DDA pay for the assistant to go through Michigan Downtown Association Downtown Professional Certification Program. That is a 3-year program that covers all aspects of what we do through DDAs, including the development side, DDA law, placemaking, business recruitment, marketing, retention, even the city side of it with planning and zoning and assessing, so they really get a full comprehensive understanding of everything that takes place in a downtown. And the cost is, currently it's $200 for the program, which is super reasonable. I can't guarantee it'll be that price forever, but right now it's $200 plus the cost of attending workshops and training sessions. So it's pretty reasonable. And to get things started with it, I've already had a couple conversations with Sam Moore at the Lapeer Development Corporation. about creating a partnership. They have a part-time employee currently at the LDC. What we have talked about is the Development Corporation bringing that employee on full-time, making him salary through the LDC, and then he would work part-time for the DDA, and then that would allow him to get benefits through the Development Corporation. He's already knowledgeable on economic development and has shown a willingness to learn and grow. And then it would allow us to get a employee for 24 hours a week as well. So it would be a shared partnership. Also, so instead of us paying him directly through the city, we would pay the LDC, and then they would pay his contract. So it works out well, I think, because it's not gonna only help us as an organization, I think it's gonna help LDC. I think it's a position where we could challenge one another to continually do better, continually to work harder. And I think it also sets Lapeer apart in that we are growing capacity, and that could become something that I think other communities could look at and really make our program stronger across the board. So that's kind of my proposal.
Any thoughts on that?
I think it's a great idea. I think
Yeah.
the collaboration with the LDC is great. I
Mhm.
think my personal evaluation, when we did your evaluation, was that you try to do too much, and that you need more like delegation, or you need more backing. So I feel like if you have that support role, I can only imagine what a year from now, or a year after having the two roles, what we'll be able to do. We're already really impressed with everything that you handle in your day-to-day. If you had a backup person that was also growing into that role, I think it would be incredible. And then the way it kind of fell in line with finances is even better.
Do you think 24 hours is like the sweet spot? It's not too much, not too little?
I think it's a good amount. For now, I think that'll be ideal, and also it keeps the position flexible for both LDC and she's doing currently 25 hours with the Development Corporation. So between the two, he's going to be looking at 50 hours a week already. So I think it keeps it still manageable.
I love the, oh, go ahead, Tim.
Jim, aside from the LDC part, are you aware of any other communities that have taken this approach that, you can kind of collaborate with or have a template for, or we're the...
I think
I think we're
guinea
it.
pig.
We're it, yeah.
We're the launching pad.
We're the
Yeah.
trendsetters.
Yes, right.
That's great. That's the first time.
Any other input on this new position?
I love the thought of being a launching pad for
Yeah.
downtown leaders. And one of the things we've talked about in previous annual meetings and things is the need for better collaboration between entities in the city. And I think this actually works very well towards that.
Yeah. I think it builds our organization, I think it builds our partnerships, and I think for us to be like an incubator for, this position across the entire state, to kind of like have DDA directors come out of this community, I think is gonna do a lot for our city, and so I think it's a great idea.
I like the communication aspect. Not that Jim is always on top of what's going on, but, Sam and Jim may be passing in the night. Now we've got another person that knows what's going on at LDC, but also knows what we're doing too. So
Right.
I really like that part of it.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? All right, at this point, I guess, is there, we obviously need to create a job description for this position, but in concept, is there a motion to approve this position at this point?
So moved.
Is there support? All right, any other discussion?
Is it up to Jim to create the job description?
No, I think that's gonna be up to the executive committee to do that and then bring that back to the board. That's just I'm not the chair anymore, but I think it would be a good idea if the executive
Easy for you
committee,
to say.
that's right. They would meet, actually create that job description and then bring that back to the board so we have a chance to look at it. And then we could approve the job description at that point.
And I would add, it would be a job description for us, but we would also work with LDC. We would need to put together a memorandum of understanding that, he's their employee and he's being contracted out to us for the 24 hours a week. So my hope would be that we could work together, get that all in place so that we could get it approved in February or have it on the agenda for February, so that we can move
Right.
forward as quickly as possible.
Right.
So,
That was my next question, what was the timeline on that, so that, because we don't wanna leave you without an assistant too
Right.
long.
right, it's only gonna get busier as we get closer
Yeah.
to summer.
Yes, for sure.
So you think that's something you could do with Sam
Yes.
between now and the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We
Jeff?
also will add the caveat, his board also has to approve the idea.
When's
as
their
well.
board meet?
I think they actually met yesterday, last night, so I haven't talked to him yet this morning because it's
Okay.
first thing in the morning.
All right, Jeff, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just curious, does Sam Moore currently have like a status of downtown vacancies? Does he know what, I mean, this will be part of the new collaboration, is that the way they can market and know if we have it, someone's phone call and I'm looking for a place?
We both do, so yeah, LDC tracks it, I also track it for the DDA as well, and so that way, if somebody reaches out to them, he can direct them towards me and vice versa.
So in the future, after this term would be over, would the same expectations be in place for the next person working with the LDC and the
I
DDA?
think it gives us an opportunity to kind of evaluate it and
Okay.
see how it works.
Mhm.
And
Make
if it
some
goes
tweaks.
as hoped, that would be in 3 to 4 years
Right.
from now, so.
All right, any other discussion before we call for a vote? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on to our Main Street Now conference attendance.
So I want to extend the invite. Main Street Now is coming up again. That's the National Conference for Main Street America. It's taking place in Tulsa, Oklahoma this year. The week of, let me double check, I believe it is
13th
April
and
13th.
14th.
Yeah, 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's a 3-day conference. We fly out on Sunday, fly back Thursday. It's a great experience. Tim was fortunate and able to go when the conference was in Virginia. It is 3 days of session after session, learning, networking, and it's also just kind of energizing too, being around all that. Main Street, Michigan pays for one registration every year. I get a reduced registration this year because I will be speaking at the national conference. So it gives us an opportunity to send another representative for the conference fee being waived. Normally that would be $499. We would still have airfare, lodging, food to cover. I did a breakdown in the packet, but to send 2 people, we'd be looking around the $4,000 range. So my inquiry would be if anybody is interested in going this year, and then we would need a motion to support that also.
Did Jill go last year?
Jill went 2 years ago.
What
Yeah.
was the cost then? Do you remember the total cost, including her?
It was around the same. I think it was a
About the
little
same.
bit more. I'd have to go back and look at.
No, I'm just curious.
My notes. That was Birmingham. That was one of the pricier conferences.
I am definitely interested. I've enjoyed the other things I've gone to, so I would definitely be interested.
Is there anybody else that's interested? I guess you're good then.
I guess.
Do you wanna go?
Okay.
We would need a motion.
Okay, so is there a motion to allow Mindy to go to the NOW conference in April?
Motion.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on, we have under old business now, under J1, an increase to Jim's health insurance stipend, which would be effective December 1st. If you recall, in December, we had a discussion, November. We didn't meet didn't meet in December, but in November, we voted to give the executive committee authority to act to find health insurance for him, better health insurance for him. And so that was done, I don't have the numbers on me, so hopefully you have those numbers. But basically, he's looking for basically the difference between what we already give him as a stipend and what actually the new stipend is, and having that retroactive to December 1.
So, yeah, so currently, I think it's $740 a month
Yes.
that I get to cover the cost of my health insurance.
Right.
What we discovered is with like the rate changes, that was through Blue Cross Blue Shield, that was going to go up to over $1,000 a month. I've met with the executive committee, and Tim and I sat down and reviewed some different plans, and we actually found one through Priority Health that is $976.59 a month, but it also includes vision and dental, which were not included previously. So it comes in at a rate lower than what I would be having with Blue Cross Blue Shield if I was still with that, and it also gives me vision and dental insurance.
So that's $236.59 more each month.
And the January, so this started January 1st, so that difference I paid out of pocket for January, and then I'll pay out of pocket in February, because that's due like tomorrow.
Well, so you don't want it to be effective December 1, you want it effective January 1?
Yes.
I'm sorry, so I misspoke. Okay. All right, so is there a motion to approve the increase of $236.59 to his health insurance stipend effective January 1?
I motion. Second.
Is there any discussion about that? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Okay, we're on to our board member comments. And I apologize. Our mayor was here last time we were here, but I did not introduce Linda. You've been here in the past, but as a member of the public. So obviously she is our new board member. And so just to give you an idea of what we do, and if you watched before, but we go around each one of us and kind of show how we have engaged with the downtown and indicate where we've gone in the downtown to participate. So if you feel like you want to do that, that's fine. If not, you don't have to this first meeting, but I apologize for not introducing you.
That's quite all right.
All right, so we will start with Mindy.
I routinely go to many places. I'm actually headed to Tammy's later today because she has a discounted rate on garnets because it's January, and I have 2 kids with January birthdays, so I hope they're not watching this, but it will be under some jewelry will be under the Christmas tree. So, if I remember that I have them, and I remember where I put them.
Okay. Jeff?
If I can use my comments, just more as a question, or just, so now we're just a couple of months away really to construction of the Park Street parking lot. I'm just curious, between the DDA and the city, are we actively engaging the businesses and the apartment residents, I mean, as to where they're gonna park? Because I think we should need to start that process now.
Yeah, that's also part of the conversations, with the continued conversations with like the easement agreements and everything else, like, here's where we're suggesting you park. We did talk about awards, incentives, and we still will do something, but we've also kind of noticed that awards don't really make a huge, they're not the big draw like they are in some communities. Where in Lapeer, it's really about the messaging and the support aspect of it. But yeah, that is part of the ongoing conversations we're
I'm
having.
just trying to picture the streets just north of us, Park Street. Are those?
The majority of the parking is
allowed
gonna be
the
on
side street?
the south side of it. So there will be a little bit of walking.
Yeah.
The one thing I like to point out and remind people is, there's always the argument of, we want convenient parking, we want convenient parking. And then the same people that will complain about convenient parking will then go to a big box store and park further away and walk the equivalent of 2 or 3 blocks and claim that it's more convenient. And usually those lots are less maintained than the downtown area also. So that'll all be part of our messaging. But yeah, the majority of the parking will be on the south side, including behind Choice One Bank. There is a small lot also straight back between like Barry Schultz's office, now it's financial as well. And the really key messaging is we need to see business owners, property owners, and employees utilizing the further parking to keep the closer parking for the general public. So it will be a few months of inconvenience, but at the end, it will be worth it, and we'll have a beautiful parking lot that is more pedestrian friendly, safer, and also major upgrades that are gonna be completed, and so we don't have to worry about this, knock on wood, hopefully for 30 plus years. That's what.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. 'Cause, I think that's gonna be, I think we might hopefully not underestimate some of the trauma that's gonna cause to some people. But I think, we have to help our businesses, and you're right, I see some people, business owners park right in front of their place, and they already take a parking space for the public, they need to be, do better on that. And, because the last thing we want to do is chase away people that don't come back. Right. Like, they get used to just not coming downtown, and we have to try to communicate that and make it easier for them to support our businesses.
Okay. Megan?
Businesses I've supported, the last month, I've been at Doghouse a lot, working.
In the dog.
Yes. So, yeah, that's been working, so I've been going to Doghouse Coffee and working, and, love it there. Pin Hive, lightning rounds, or not lightning rounds, sorry, wood chips and cookies and cream was doing like the 50% off on random days, so we were there a lot this month. I went to Tammy's, I went to Essential Necessities, I went to the Flower Basket this month. A lot of them. Not as much because it's been so cold, but I've been to a lot of them.
I've been at Rogers and the Doghouse quite a few times. And wood chips, cookies and cream, the same thing. And just quite a few of them just up and down around town. Flower Basket, of course.
Okay, Buddy?
I'm sorry, I'm not awake. Well, I guess Megan's dealership technically isn't in the DDA, but I have crossed the street, spent a fair amount of
20
time there
foot
last
outside of
night.
it.
Aside from all the restaurants in Jason's store.
Jason?
Just really wanted to highlight one in particular. It's might not be as well known, but it's the Sandlot. My son drives to Flint 3 times a week for baseball practice, but during break, him and his buddies that live around town were there quite a bit, and it's a throwing cage, batting cage right in downtown, and it's pretty useful because there is none nearby at all. You have to go quite a ways. Love that place.
Can I ask where that's at? Because I don't think I
Right
even
next to
realized.
Expedia.
Where
It's
is
the
it?
gym.
Oh,
It's the 80/20
oh,
club.
okay, all right,
Okay.
It's in there.
thank you. Obviously, I need to go there if I don't know where it's at, so. All right, Dan?
I frequent the restaurants. I like the Thai place a lot. And then, of course, the paint company, Sherwin-Williams. And then, for whatever reason, I get dragged into the bank too often. Yeah, that's fine.
Tim?
Let's see, the Goodyear store, the Pier Dental, the bank, Dagwoods. And it's probably more a function of the weather than my willpower, but I cut my blend visits from about 6 to 2, so that's good.
All right. Linda, did you want to add anything?
Yes, but what I'd like to talk about, if you don't mind, is the America 250. But before I say anything about that, I just want to commend Jill. Jill is got her hands full with so many different projects that she works on and different boards that she's on, and I don't know if she ever gets enough credit for all of the things she does. And she's not one to brag or talk about herself. She's very quiet. Even at the America 250 meetings, she gives her reports and then is just very quiet about herself. And really, she needs somebody to be her cheerleader, because she really is amazing woman. So I appreciate what you do, not only for downtown, but for the whole community, including the whole county. You're amazing. So, and then with America 250, what I'm happy about is the businesses that will be participating in the clubs, and I'm still reaching out to more groups. If you have a group that you think would be interested in participating, it's not really garbage in, garbage out, it's ideas in and action out. We have the Nipissing chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution who are doing a scavenger hunt for kids on February 21st from 12 to 3 downtown. And a lot of those ladies will be in revolutionary costumes. And it'll be a really wonderful learning experience for the kids. That chapter, which is also amazing, is going to be doing for children, how to fold the American flag, and they'll be giving the kids mini flags, and they will be able to learn what each fold means and fold their own flags, and that, I believe, will be in September. America 250 is trying to get all the businesses downtown and everybody involved so that we can have some kind of event every month, and we've got one already scheduled for February, and we may be having some more. So if you have a contact for me, that would be great. I would like a contact maybe for the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, because I think that they should be involved with what we do in the city, and any other community group that you can think of. Like I said, it's ideas come in, and we beat them up and mold them into some kind of action plan, and hopefully this will be good, not only for the city, but surely for the downtown area, at the DDA area. So let's see, so that's about it. Thank you for having me here. And thank you for the appointment, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Okay. Jeremy?
I will second Linda's acknowledgement of Jill and everything that's going on at the Center for Arts. That was one of the highlights of today's meeting in terms of listening the update of what's going on there, all the things that are becoming available, especially the pottery wheels that you're advocating for, America 250, the collaboration with the Historic Society. The second highlight for me at the meeting was the discussion of Jim's potential part-time staff assistant in the collaboration with the LDC. It's very good to see that collaboration in town and around town happening. I know we talk about things that collaborations with other entities outside of town, but just those particular ones stood out to me during the meeting. And then I'd like to congratulate all those who have received their positions on the executive committee today, as well as welcome Linda to the DDA. I also want to congratulate you, Jim, for obtaining a speaker position at the upcoming Main Street Now conference. Looking forward to hearing back how that goes and how you're received, and I'm excited for you in that trip, and Mindy to tag along and see how that goes for him. I expect to hear some really great things from that trip. One business downtown that I'd like to highlight this month would be Kintai. Well, I've been there before. This month it's come in quite handy. Late night type dinners, pick something up to order, that sort of thing. So it's been very, and it's just really, it's a good, diverse menu, I think, compared to what we're used to. So that was very special. And finally, one note I had, I'll speak for a constituent that wasn't able to make it during public comments. A couple of notes, actually 2 different constituents haven't made it, couldn't make it this early. One was looking to get in touch with members of the DDA. I don't know what about. I asked if I could pass some information along. I'm waiting to hear back, but they were having a hard time on the website finding contact information, specifically maybe a particular email to make sure it spreads across the board and everybody gets the message or the question, whatever that might be. Maybe it's out there, I just need to point, if there's something I can point them to, that'd be great.
We actually don't have a general board email.
Okay.
So maybe that's something that we need to look at. Otherwise, I can help disperse, or like Cam or I think probably Ramona also could help disperse.
Of course.
To,
The standard answer would be, you know, contact the office, see if it could, but I think sometimes constituents like to canvass the boards and make sure everybody gets what they want to say,
Right.
because they can't make it to public comment or whatever. The other one is visibility. Someone else had pointed out that, you know, when they're watching the videos from home, it's hard to tell who's on the DDA and who's voting and that sort of thing. So something to think about as a group. We have 3 more chairs up here at the dais, and I know that table's all filled, and I think all of that kind of fits into the camera view. But just visibility, and I think at the very least, the executive committee is more visible to the audience back at home and the constituents who are trying to understand what's going on, who's speaking, who's a part of all of that. You know, just I let them know that I would communicate that, and I think that I've heard it one other time before as well. But anyhow, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. So real quick, just actually on the visibility thing, we were talking about doing it this month and we ended up not because of everything kind of being shuffled around because of the water issue downstairs. We're kind of changing the layout for our board meetings.
Sure.
One, to give them kind of more like a roundtable feel, but also at that time we can hopefully address the visibility thing also.
I think that'll probably be great.
Yeah.
It's great. Thanks, Jim.
No problem.
I was just gonna say that, like, we wanted to be more about community engagement, so, you know, not like it's gotta be a kumbaya feeling, but it's basically maybe making some type of circle of chairs so that we're all looking at each other and communicating. I mean, we certainly can designate, maybe all the executive officers can sit in one section so you can see that from the video, but I think it would be much better for engagement if we could actually all sit down on the floor in a circle. So anyway, I was gonna say that as well. I guess the only thing I wanted to say is that, so I have been to a few places this month, unfortunately, not a lot, because I really just wanted to be in my new house. I didn't want to leave and go out anywhere. But I have been to the Vision Center, I've been to Tilted Access, I have been to Dagwood's, I'm sure I've been to a couple of other establishments, but not as much as I had been in the previous month. And then I just wanted to indicate that I'm really excited about this Saturday's board retreat. For those of you who have not been there before, or if not, it's been a while, they are really exciting. There's a lot of engagement, there's a lot of brainstorming, and I feel that it's, you know, like when we're here at a public forum, you know, sometimes it's a little bit more formal, we don't always engage or dialogue together. And I think that when we get to a board retreat, we can brainstorm, and we can talk about those ideas. One thing that Jim didn't say is that we're fortunate to have Lee be our moderator again, or facilitator again, for our board retreat, and she does an excellent job. So if you can be there, it'll be really good, and it's a new community that we've not been to, so I'm excited. So that's all I have. There is no other, we don't have correspondence, I don't think, this month, and so is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Or adjourn. Thank you.
If you haven't signed the card, let's get that signed.
Really what I need to do though is figure out all these, of course, I have an idea about how to I should
So many layers. I feel like the kid with the Christmas start.
Well, I
too, is that
Gives you a better overall picture. It's not just, let's hear the.
Yeah, you want to.